you guys ever been invited somewhere way fancier than you are? Where somebody got you the opportunity to go somewhere that you really couldn't afford? I have been super blessed in my life to have some experiences like that. I mean, I'm a youth pastor, and my wife is a part-time waitress. It's not like we've got student loan debt. We're not really the kind of people who can afford rich, lavish things, but every once in a while, we've got some people in our life who just want to take care of us. And I remember this one time when somebody invited me to a Dodger game. I mean, you guys know me. Like, yes, I'm going no matter what. He said, hey, it's his wife's work got him tickets. And so we showed up, we're driving in, we're in the line, and he goes, hey, I think these tickets have free parking on them. And so we go up to the gate, and he shows the lady in that little booth these tickets, and she goes, oh, yeah, right this way, sir. You're going to follow this guy. And so we go to that guy, and he goes, no, right this way, sir. And then they start moving cones, and eventually we pull literally right up to the front of the stadium, and there's a sign with basically our names on it. This business was our parking space, and there's a guy guarding our car. Like, wait a minute, this stadium seats 50,000 people, and now we have our own space. And so we get out and we go through and we're trying to find our seats, and we have no clue where they are. And so finally we ask somebody, and we're like, hey, where are these seats? And they go, oh, you got to go through those doors over there. We look at each other, we're like, what? And so we walk through and we find where they're talking about, and there are these two guys in suits standing in front of large glass doors, and we go, I don't know if we're in the right space. Is this where we're supposed to be? And he goes, yep, come on in. The glass doors open up. We walk downstairs and to this private entrance, and you end up walking through this place that says Clubhouse. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. We go in and you walk by the trophy room. So we see World Series titles, and we see all the trophies the Dodgers have won over the years. And eventually it opens up, and it's this massive place underneath the stadium with free food. And we're not talking Dodger Dogs, although there's a Dodger Dog station. We're talking like steak medallions. It's all on the house, all free. We can have anything that we want. On the way out to our seats, there's free peanuts and popcorn and all this stuff. And we go down, and I am so close to the field that I'm literally looking up at the pitcher. I was the only people between me and the actual Dodger players were their representatives, their agents sitting right in front of me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do you do in that moment? You put it on Instagram. I mean, you tell everybody. You're like, you guys don't know where I am. You've got to know where I am. And I didn't pay anything. This was free. This is beyond me. I cannot believe I'm here. This is the best thing ever. And you get crazy excited about where you are. And you start talking. You start thanking everybody. You're looking around and just talking fast. When we open the book of Ephesians, when you start Ephesians 1, you got to hear it with that ear. Verses 3 through 14, 3 all the way through 14 is one run-on sentence. It's almost like Paul just couldn't stop. Likely when Paul wrote this, he was in a prison and somebody was transcribing his words. So imagine being that scribe. And there's this verses 3 through 14 run-on sentence. It's like Paul was going, oh my gosh, you can't believe it. This is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. And the scribe's going, wait, I can't keep up. That is what we see in the opening chapter of the book of Ephesians. And what he's saying is he's saying a couple of things. The first section is, guys, we're in Christ. We are in Christ. Look where we are. It's like when I was in that Dodger stadium, it's like, look where I am. And I'm taking pictures and I'm trying to tell everybody, this is where I am. And over, he says, we're in Christ. We're in Christ. We're in Him. We're in the beloved. Over and over and over. And then Paul uses this language of wealth. He's like I was saying, I can't afford these tickets. These tickets are, I don't even know how much these tickets are. And Paul's going, guys, we have an inheritance. We get His glorious riches. This is something lavished on us. And he's just talking about how expensive it is to be in the presence of Christ. And then he starts talking about how it was free. I mean, the same the way I was like, there's no way I could afford it. And he goes, no, it's by grace. It's something given, that you were purchased, that it was a gift. And over, this quick talking, run-on sentence, I cannot believe how excited I am that you get to be here in this time, in this place with me. When you guys crack this open, and you start reading, I want you to hear Paul's enthusiasm, how excited he is that you and I are in Christ and we're here for free. And it is this lavish, wealthy inheritance that we never could have afforded. And then he moves on. He goes on from there, and I love this kind of transition. In verse 15, he starts talking about knowledge. And he says these things. He says, man, I wish that he give them wisdom and revelation and knowledge, that they may be enlightened, that they might know. And it's like, it's almost as if Paul's saying, this is beyond comprehension. I cannot, even with my mind, think about how good this is. And I don't think they can either. I just want them to be able to grasp it. But then there's this fear, right? I mean, this game kind of runs into the 9th inning, and I'm like, I gotta go home at some point. I love this place, but man, this game is gonna end, and next time I'm here, I'm in the nosebleeds again. And Paul transitioned to this concept of power after that. He says, no. Nothing is gonna pull you out of this ever again. And he transitions, and he starts talking about power, that you've been bought, that Christ was raised from the dead with this power. He says that there's power and dominion, that things are subject, that he is the head. And you remember when we were talking about how Ephesians started, how that church started? It started under crazy opposition. That there were people who were like talking negatively. There were people who were speaking evil, and then it got into rioting, and then there was a question of people were going to be thrown in jail or even murdered. And that's just on the human side of things. He's saying that there's a spiritual element of this that is far more dangerous, that it was actually the spiritual side of this that left people bloodied and naked running for their lives, that there is a definite enemy that we're up against. And Paul's going, hey, you're in with Christ, and nothing is going to stop it. God has the power to defeat all of it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to be afraid. This game isn't coming to an end. You are here forever. Guys, I want you to be excited that your God has you. That my God rescued me for free. That he rescued you for free. And the wealth of what he is offering is far better than the wealth of anything that we've experienced on planet Earth. Because we're in Christ. We have a position with him instead of a position on this world. And God gave us our opportunity in this world for a reason. As you guys read through this, man, I pray that you would see that God is calling you to the same thing. That you're not just here to get a book. You're here to get this God, because this God is trying to get you. I love you guys. Remember when we were talking about before, a couple of questions that you guys should ask. What does it say? Spend some time on this one. Go through. Ask questions. If there's anything you don't understand, seek it out. Ask the people in your room. Try to figure out the real answer to this. Another thing that you should ask is, what does it say about people? Man, if this is all given for free, is it saying that we can't afford it? If this is given as grace, does that mean that we can't earn it? What does it say about people? And then what does it say about God? What kind of a God would rescue people for free? What kind of a God has authority over any spiritual entity? And then finally, what do we do about it? And what does it say? What does it say about people? What does it say about God? And finally, what do we do about it? What should we do now that this has happened? Should this change how we do live our life in this place? if we are in Christ, I pray that whenever you're watching this, wherever you are and whoever you're there with, that you guys can look across the table, that you can seek the truth in some of these things. Maybe that means that you're going to have to call each other out on some stuff, that you can do that in love. And then finally, you can be people who are of action, who read the Bible and do what it says. I love you guys. Can't wait to see you next time.